Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel, where we bring you the latest updates and heartfelt stories about Sheikh Hamdan and his family. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so now and click that bell icon so you never miss any new updates about the royal life, the poetry, and the emotions behind it all. In my last video, I told you about that emotional moment when Sheikh Hamdan received a phone call from his girlfriend, Shamma al-Falasi, while he was in Uzbekistan with Hadia and their children. It was supposed to be a peaceful family trip, but what happened that night changed everything. Shamma's call came unexpectedly. Her tone was calm, her words soft, but each syllable carried a quiet depth that shook him. She asked him directly about the remarriage, and Sheikh Hamdan, being an honest soul, didn't deny it. He admitted it with a heavy heart. But instead of reacting with anger or jealousy, Shamma said something that left him speechless. She told him it was a good decision, one that gave new life to Hadia and to the children. Her calmness was so pure, so composed, that it pierced his heart deeper than any confrontation ever could. Unable to bear the weight of that silence, he called her again. He tried to explain himself, to tell her that this remarriage was not for his happiness. It was for his children. It was for their stability, for their name, for Hadia's dignity in the eyes of society. He wanted Shamma to understand that nothing between them would change, that she would always be the one who knew his heart. But even as he spoke, he could sense the distance growing between them. Shamma listened quietly. She wasn't angry. She wasn't bitter. She only said that she wished he had told her earlier. Then, with that same calm grace she was known for, she asked him not to let her parents know about the marriage. And finally, she said something that broke him completely. She told him they had always been more like friends than lovers. Those words, simple yet shattering. For years, he had shared with her his deepest thoughts, his poetry, his pain, his dreams. She had been his comfort, his peace, his reflection. And hearing her reduce all that to friendship, even if it was said with dignity, wounded him deeply. But he also understood. That was her strength. That was her way of loving. With grace, without demands, without ego. That night, when the lights were off and the city outside was silent, Sheikh Hamdan sat by the window of his hotel room. The cold Uzbek air filled the space, brushing against his face, yet his thoughts burned like fire. He kept hearing her voice, calm, steady, yet full of quiet sadness. He knew he hadn't betrayed her with his actions, but with his silence. So, he opened his notebook, and he began to write. The words came to him like rain, heavy, cleansing, unstoppable. He wrote about love that expects nothing. He wrote about loyalty that survives distance. He wrote about a woman whose calmness was stronger than anger. In each verse, he felt her presence, her patience, her unspoken love, her strength. He poured out his dilemma, the painful truth that Hadia represented duty, while Shamma represented freedom, the freedom of being understood without words. What Shamma didn't know, and what no one else did, was that Sheikh Hamdan had already decided before the remarriage that he would never share a physical relationship with Hadia again. The remarriage was symbolic. It was meant only to restore peace within the family, to give Hadia her dignity back, and to bring stability to the children. It was not built on passion, but on responsibility. His heart still belonged to Shamma. Silently, faithfully. Even when words failed him, his love remained loyal to her, the woman who had never asked for anything but understanding. He wanted to tell her the truth, to make her see that this decision was not betrayal, but sacrifice. But how could he, when her calm acceptance left no room for explanations? So he turned to poetry, their shared language, to say what words couldn't. Meanwhile, Shamma's world changed quietly. On the outside, she was calm and composed, but inside, her heart carried an ache she never showed. She had always known what it meant to love a prince. That love would come with boundaries, traditions, and duties. Yet, her love was pure. She never sought power or position. She never wanted a title. All she ever wanted was connection, to be understood, to be seen, to be loved as herself. And that was what made her irreplaceable in his life. Even in silence, she loved him with grace. She didn't fight, she didn't blame, she simply let him go with dignity. Days passed. Sheikh Hamdan attended public events, smiled for photos, but inside, he was restless. The poetry he wrote in Uzbekistan stayed with him, each word a reminder of what he was losing. Eventually, he decided to cut his stay short. He told everyone he had to return to Dubai for a political event. Hadia and the children returned with him. But the real reason was different. He couldn't bear the weight of that silence anymore. He wanted to see Shamma face to face, to explain, to apologize, or maybe just to feel her presence again. He knew that one conversation could change everything, or end everything. Yet he was willing to take that risk. Because for him, Shamma wasn't just another chapter. She was the entire poetry of his life. In my next video, I'll be sharing the poem Sheikh Hamdan wrote while he was in Uzbekistan, along with its translation and the hidden meanings behind each verse. It's a piece filled with truth, emotion, and the quiet pain of a man torn between love and responsibility. So, if you enjoyed this update, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much for watching.